MSG Varsity presents High School Sports Showcase. Today, from the Bronx, the Mount St. Michael Mountaineers host the Xavier Knights. Hello, everyone. I'm Rich Ackerman. Today, we have a quarterfinal playoff matchup between Mount St. Michael and Xavier that takes on an entirely different meaning. Today's game will be played with heavy hearts. Earlier today, we were told of the tragic news of the passing of Mount St. Michael running back Kyle Rembert, who tragically died yesterday of carbon monoxide poisoning. Head coach Mario Valentini was distraught not only yesterday, but had to hold back tears when talking with us earlier today. And he gave his players each the option of whether or not they wanted to go forward with today's game. And unanimously, all decided to play today. As I bring in my partner, former NFL quarterback Jay Fiedler. Jay, how do kids process and channel such emotions in such a short period of time?
It will be very difficult, and certainly the past 24 hours have been very emotional for the entire Mount St. Michael's community. But these players have decided to come out for the next 3 hours and memorialize their fallen teammate, their fallen friend, in a 3-hour service of football to go out and play for a person that had great passion, had great sense of camaraderie for all his teammates. They're going to use all their range of emotions to go out there and play as best they can for their fallen teammate.
As you saw, they'll wear stickers with the number 45 on their helmets. They'll also be wearing black wristbands as well today in memory of Kyle Rembert. It'll be an emotional day here at Mount St. Michael in the Bronx. We will have the opening kickoff as the game moves on next on MSG Varsity. Mount St. Michael players remembering their friend and teammate Kyle Rembert, who died yesterday. A moment of silence before kickoff. And a lot of times being a coach is not much different than being a parent. It's been a tough 24 hours for Mount St. Michael head coach Mario Valentini, who's standing by right now with our Stephen Gills.
Thanks a lot, guys. Coach, this has got to be one of the toughest 24-hour stretches of your life. Can you describe the emotions that you're going through right now?
It's very difficult to put it in words. You know, sometimes you feel like you're able to deal with it, and then the emotions take over. Just a tough day.
Coach, tell us a little bit about Kyle, not just the player, but the person.
Kyle was a great young man, always had a smile on his face, always worked hard, just gave it his all, just, what you would want as a son. Obviously, this is a playoff game, but is the game now all about number 45? Well, I think it's that's what the kids are playing for. Yeah, they voted to play the game, and they're playing for Kyle.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Our condolences go out to you and the whole Mount St. Michael family. We'll now send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Stephen. Mario Valentini's been at Mount St. Michael for 31 years, 26 as a head coach, and this obviously has to be the most difficult day during his tenure. But we do have a football game, and for the next couple of hours, perhaps a release from all this, something that can take their minds off of all this, and the kids, again, playing in memory of Kyle Rembert, who passed away yesterday morning of carbon monoxide poisoning. It is a very emotional day as kids were holding back tears during the national anthem and remembering him with the number 45 on their helmets, as well as black wristbands throughout the day today. Mount St. Michael, as we get set to go, did win the toss, but elected to kick off. So Xavier will get the ball first. Randy Samuels will kick off, and this is a high kick taken by Johnny Clark inside the 10. He's across the 20, and one man to beat. That's the kicker, Samuels, who slows him down and makes a good tackle at the 41-yard line. So Xavier will start from its own 41. They have won their last 4 and have done so with a prolific running game, averaging 351 yards per game in that time. So they will run the single wing, which should be interesting for us, Jay, trying to follow which direction the ball is going. Mario Valentini said earlier in this week he really hasn't seen it all that much, and the toughest part is preparing for it and knowing where the ball's going.
Well, that's got to be the toughest part is, you don't have any scout teams that can simulate what's going on with this single wing formation.
And the snap taken up the middle, out across midfield and down to the 36-yard line as we take a look at the starting lineups Chris Mattina and Johnny Clark, the two tailbacks. Michael Cronin, the power back, and John Wilson, the wing back. The two tight ends, Joseph Corrado and Thomas Boulay. 2nd and 5 from the 34. And now a shift, which complicates things further for us, Jay. And the snap goes to Johnny Clark. He's ahead for a first down and more, taken down at the 22-yard line. So the single wing has provided a lot of deception on the first 2 plays. A gain of 13 and a first down for the Knights of Xavier.
Well, the single wing, invented by Glenn Pop Warner back in 1907, was built all around deception.
As we take a look at the Mount St. Michael defense, Terrence Lewis, Louis Serrano, Justin LeBoy. Up front, the linebackers Benito Cruz, Terrence Tyler, Chris Vakasisi Kakala, and Gary Aqua. The linebackers. And we'll get to the rest of those players in just a moment. Here's Chris Mattina, the team's leading rusher, and he moves the pile down to about the 15-yard line. A pickup of close to 6 on the play. Najee Brown and Jair Grinnell, the corners, Jordan Buford and Randy Samuels, the safeties. As you take a look at Chris Mattina, the team's leading rusher, and also 8 touchdowns. Check that, 3 touchdowns on the year, but 1 of 53 yards. So 2nd and 4 from the 15-yard line. The shift in motion. And the snap goes to Clark. And again, up the middle. Close to a first down, but perhaps a yard short. So it'll be 3rd and a very short one, Jay. Mattina takes the snap and gets the first down. He's inside the 10-yard line, down to the 9. So 1st and goal, and a fumble on the play. Mount St. Michael has recovered, ending what would have been a very strong Xavier drive. Did not see the ball pop loose, but in that pile that just kept on moving, somehow the ball hit the ground.
I did not either. You know, 3rd and 1 was a great situation to have that single wing offense. You get the extra blockers involved. But obviously in the middle of that scrum, there was a ball that came loose, and Mount St. Michael's was able to come up with a recovery.
We talked about what an emotional day this is, and for a team that was having trouble with that single wing on the opening drive, certainly a big lift right there, picking up the fumble and getting the ball back. On first down, Mount takes it up the middle with Gary Aqua. He gets ahead for about 3 yards. Jalen Amaker is back as the Mount St. Michael starting quarterback. He had missed last week's game with a high ankle sprain, suffered 2 weeks ago against Fordham Prep, but he was feeling well enough to play today and is back as the Mount St. Michael starting quarterback. So it was a gain of 3 on the play. Brings the ball out to the 13-yard line. Gary Aqua, the big bruising fullback, 6'2", 235 pounds, and he gets the call here. Check that, Amaker around the edge. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 18-yard line, about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Well, it's easy to mistake when you think Gary Aqua has the ball, because that's their bread and butter play, giving it to their big bruising fullback. But Jalen Amaker, very capable of taking the ball out from the gut of Aqua and running the option around the end to keep the defense in check.
And perhaps testing that ankle a little early, see what he can do, what he can't do, but seemingly got outside pretty nicely on that play.
Well, he looks to be moving pretty well. We saw him in warm-ups. It didn't look like he was limping at all. You know, we'll see as the game goes along if he'll be able to, you know, stay fully healthy on that injured ankle. On
3rd and short, Aqua dives ahead, should be enough for a first down, and it is. Gary Aqua, the 6'2", 235-pound senior, and the Mountaineers' leading rusher, his longest gain of the year is only 29, but he'll methodically pick up 6 yards, 7 yards, and just keep moving the piles, moving the chains. And it may not be the prettiest thing, but it's certainly effective.
And no doubt about it. Well, coming from that fullback position, he's only lined up about 3 yards behind the quarterback. But he doesn't need much head of steam to get going with that big body of his. You know, he just drags defenders down 4 or 5 yards at a clip.
At the 21-yard line, Amaker keeps it, cuts outside, and he's taken down by Dom DeFalco, the safety.
And as you can see, just that threat of Aqua going up the middle drags the whole defense to the inside and allows Amaker to break free on the outside with the option run. He took it himself, decided to, cut up field for a nice 7-yard gain.
2 running teams must make an old quarterback feel a little out of place. You ever run the option?
I have run the option before. Never the single wing though, which really doesn't have a traditional quarterback in their offense.
But Amaker is the traditional quarterback for Mount St. Michael under center, and he hands to Aqua, who stopped maybe a yard at most. So to bring up 3rd and short, about 2-yard line, about 2 yards to go.
Nice job there by junior Spencer Pesci. In on the tackle, closing up the middle on the Aqua run.
You look at the size of both teams, and you see a kid the size of Aqua. How do you bring him down?
Well, you need numbers.
3rd and 2 from the 29, and we have some movement. The flags come. Interestingly, though, this week Xavier was really practicing their tackling, getting low, and trying to get some leverage. And
ball offside, white.
So the penalty on Xavier will give Mount St. Michael a 1st down. But again, when you see somebody with that type of size and strength, it is not an easy guy to bring down, that's for sure.
Well, I think the biggest key is really to stand up that offensive line in front of him, not give him any lane to get a full head of steam going, and try and limit him to the 1, 2, 3 yard gains rather than the 6, 7 yard gains.
On 1st down, Amaker up the middle. He's got a 1st down and more. He's got a burst of speed. It's going to be a race. Amaker, and he's taken out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Tremendous play by Amaker there, showing that ankle is healthy now.
No ill effects on a 64-yard run by Jalen Amaker, which brings up 1st and goal.
There he is. He fakes it up the middle of Aqua, which again takes all the defense into the middle, opening up a nice hole for Amaker as he runs down the left sideline for a great gain, setting up first and goal.
Looks like I did not see a flag, but the play coming back.
And there is a flag on the 45-yard line, it looks like, downfield.
Some of the Mount St. Michael's players have shoes that would fit their colors, and you see yellow on the shoes. Hard to find the flag in some cases.
Out of bounds, Pat.
Harry Shump, our referee today. A little more than midway through the 1st quarter. Xavier took it inside the 10-yard line, but a fumble recovered by Mount St. Michael has brought it back the other way, and a 64-yard run by Jalen Amaker nullified by a penalty. But it still goes for 22.
Looked like it was just a downfield holding by one of the receivers on the outside that brought it back.
Here's Aqua straight ahead, and he's brought down by Joe Corrado, among others. He said, important to get volume there, numbers.
Absolutely important to stay low as well, as you saw Corrado do right there. He got down underneath Aqua's pads, was able to get him at his legs before the momentum of the big fullback was able to steamroll him over.
We talk about strength, but when you see those legs churning and running and knees coming up, it's got to be a scary sight for a defender. 2nd and 8 from the 47. Man in motion is Eddie Cox. Amaker keeps it straight ahead one more time. He's close to a 1st down and into Xavier territory. It is a first down as we take one more look at the speed of Jalen Amaker.
Looks like the same play that they ran before. Had success on Amaker with the keeper up the middle, faking it to Aqua, gets a good block from his wing back, and is able to cut it up the field for a nice 8-9 yard gain and a first down.
Down to the 45-yard line. So Mount St. Michael into Xavier territory on its first possession. Aqua is the lone back. And he gets the call, and Aqua turns it outside, turns upfield. He's got a first down and more. Nice run by Gary Aqua for the first time. We've seen him go outside, and the result, the first down.
Well, he used nice vision on that run. You know, the Xavier team has been blocking up the middle of the field, and you see Aqua with a nice cut, gets to the outside, finds a hole, gets a nice block there on the edge, and an excellent gain.
And it's down to the 27-yard line. 9-play, 63-yard drive thus far for the Mount St. Michael Mountaineers. Methodically moving the ball, now 3:20 left in the first quarter, and a timeout, our first of the game, called by Mount St. Michael. So it was a very difficult beginning for Mount St. Michael, obviously, on this emotional day, a day after losing their teammate and friend Kyle Rembert, and it was a very tough pregame ceremony as we take a look and listen into the huddle with Mario Valentini.
Where was lined up like? We just lined up in green. Where was lined up? One in the three. Yeah, one in the 5. Okay, so that's we're gonna track. All right, you gotta block that line back. It's on your head.
Mario Valentini calling out to make sure all the linebackers are blocked, and they're good ones. Sean Kelly and Patrick Nielsen, as well as Adam Dugnan and John Garrity. And as I was mentioning, a very emotional day. Kids fighting back tears pregame in the moment of silence and the national anthem. And, you know, once the game starts, it takes on a totally different meaning for the kids. Obviously, you know, Kyle Rembert is always close to them and in their hearts and prayers, and certainly our prayers and thoughts go out to his family as well. But you know, they forget about it for just a little while, and the football serves as, you know, a way to try to move forward for them.
Yeah, well, certainly there's a huge rush of emotion leading up to the game, and you know, as the game goes on, you know, football is being played, and it is, like you said, a way to release some of those emotions and get it out of their system, and do something that you know, memorializes their friend and you know, someone that they wish was out there with them today.
And they have his jersey on the bench, number 45, and the carry on that play was by number 15, Tariq Hawkins. His first carry of the day. It was a gain of 5, brings the ball down to the 22-yard line. As you can see on Hawkins' helmet, the number 45 for Kyle Rembert. Amaker keeps it, has a hole, and he's tripped up by Dom DeFalco. And he not tripped him up. That could have been 6.
Yeah, they've been having success on that quarterback keeper play. You know, Amaker is finding a nice hole off tackle as, you know, after the fake to Aqua, he's getting a nice lead block from his wingback and finding a great lane in the off tackle position, getting up into the secondary of the Xavier defense. And, you know, nice tackle, like you said, by DeFalco, saved a possible touchdown there on that play.
Well, there are 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. We have not seen one pass, not surprising. Xavier has not attempted a pass in the last 2 weeks, and Mount St. Michael will do it a little more, but not much more often. They like to run the ball, pound the ball with Gary Aqua right there, straight ahead for a yard or 2, but conservative, power, and keep the other team's offense off the field. And if you're Mount St. Michael, your offense certainly plays into your defense, keeping that single wing, trying to figure that all out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, you're seeing 2 offenses here that really go back to the, you know, starting days of football. The single wing with Xavier back to the early 1900s, and
leather helmets.
Yeah, the wing T formation that Mount St. Michael's uses is kind of the next generation in the 1940s and 50s that came out about off of the single wing offense.
2nd and 6 from the 12. The pitch to Eddie Cruz, and he takes it inside the 5-yard line. Should be good for a first down. And it is a first down, so it'll bring up 1st and goal for Mount St. Michael. Final seconds of this first quarter, 35 seconds left.
And Cruz there gives them a nice changeup with the speed to the outside that he brings. You know, complement the power running game up the middle, and then the quarterback keepers that Amaker brings.
So Eddie Cox gets inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal from the 5 for Mount St. Michael. And they will not get a playoff, so we'll switch sides. And Mount St. Michael with the 1st and goal to start the second quarter. But it was a first quarter that not a lot of flash, but certainly both teams able to move the ball. And when we come back, Mount St. Michael will have a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, trying to get on the board. Welcome back. Rich Ackerman, former NFL quarterback Jay Fiedler, and Stephen Gelbs with you from Mount St. Michael in the Bronx. A scoreless first quarter has given way now to the opening play of the second quarter, where Mount St. Michael has a 1st and goal from the 5 on a 13-play drive that has gone 84 yards in 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Gary Aqua with the handoff. He moves ahead. Bunch of white shirts try to hold him up. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. But Aqua with 31 yards rushing in that first quarter. As we said, there was not a pass attempted, but certainly stellar running performances in the opening quarter for Mount St. Michael. Jalen Amaker, 48 yards rushing on 5 carries, and Aqua over 5 yards a carry, 6 carries, 31 yards.
Well, they call Aqua the baby bus out here at Mount St. Michael's, and he's showing some shades of Jerome Bettis, just moving the pile with his large legs.
And Amaker the pitch to Tariq Hawkins, turns upfield and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount St. Michael. Great deception by Jalen Amaker, and nice moves by Tariq Hawkins have put the Mountaineers on the board.
Excellent job by Amaker there, running the option very efficiently. You see here the fake up to Aqua. He gets on the edge, reads the defensive end coming at him, pitches the ball out to Hawkins, who does the rest, taking it the 5 yards for the touchdown.
Randy Samuels on for the point after. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Mount St. Michael on the second play of the second quarter takes a 7-0 lead, doing it on the ground as they had all throughout the first quarter, and start the second quarter on top.
Here we see that touchdown again. Amaker getting up on the edge. Nice pitch out to Hawkins, who barrels over the defender, gets in for the touchdown and celebrates with his teammates in the end zone. Very nice play.
Before the kickoff, Jay, let's head down to the sidelines and check in with our Stephen Gelbs.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. You know, one of the things you mentioned at the top of the broadcast was that Coach Valentini gave the kids the option of playing this game today. We were talking to a couple of the assistant coaches before the game today about why they decided to play this game, and assistant coach Moses Tajong said, listen, Kyle loved football and we loved him, and that's why we're playing today. And right now they're up 7-0 in his memory. Guys.
Thank you very much, Stephen. And you know, we talk about a range of emotions, and again, it's such a short period of time to process all that has happened in the last 24 hours, and it's got to be difficult for the kids. Sometimes it just doesn't even set in for a little while.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so fresh right now. I mean, it just happened yesterday. I mean, these young men just found out actually after their practice yesterday And to make that decision to come out and play today, and really do it in honor and in memory of Kyle, speaks volumes to the type of kid that Kyle was.
Johnny Clark takes the kickoff, and he's met at the 20-yard line. Nice special team stop by Michael Parada. A 13-yard return, so Xavier on its opening possession took it inside the 10-yard line, but that drive was stopped by a fumble, and they didn't see it the rest of the first quarter. So one possession and out in the first quarter for Xavier. Their first possession here in the second quarter with less than a minute gone by. And looks like Johnny Clark was shaken up. The Mount St. Michael scoring drive, 90 yards, 15 plays. Took nearly 10 minutes before Drake Hawkins took it in from 5 yards out. 1st and 10 from the 21. John Wilson gets the call on first down, tries to bounce outside. He's got great speed, turns upfield, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Well, you said it. Wilson got excellent speed, was able to get up on the corner, turn the corner, and just create a burst of energy down the sidelines. We'll see where they mark it. Looks like it is going to be a first down.
Wilson did a nice job to stay on his feet, pick up that first down. It's going to be spotted at the 32-yard line, so call it a gain of 11. This time it's Chris Matina. And he gets across the 35 to about the 36-yard line, a gain of 4. Brings up about a 2nd and 6. But it has been a challenge to figure out where that ball is going. And Mario Valentini told his team, just stay in your gaps until you know where the ball is, and then you just converge on it. But easier said than done.
Well, absolutely. You got to play full team defense to really play against this single wing offense. It's hard to tell. They use deception a lot. It's hard to tell where the ball is even being snapped to, let alone where it ends up. Really the Mount St. Michael's players have to, play their positions, have to, know the fundamentals and not try and do too much and get out of positions to play other people's positions. They can't try and foul the ball with their eyes. They got to play their gaps. They got to play tough full team defense.
And the Xavier Knights have won 4 in a row. As we mentioned earlier, they played a very tough portion of their schedule early, started off 1-3, but came back with a win against St. Peter's 20-7, and that really just fueled this run. It followed with a 35-0 victory over Bishop Ford, Cardinal Spellman 49-6, and last week a 49-12 victory over Christ the King. But again, it took a little while for even Xavier to pick up this single wing. The offensive line players graduate. Seamus Kelly, their fine running back from a year ago, now playing rugby at Cal, but had nearly 2,800 yards rushing. That's a big loss. So for a while, it took them to get the whole concept of the single wing down. It took almost midway through the season, but now it has certainly clicked. And as I mentioned, they've won 4 in a row. The shift and everybody is moving there. It almost looked like a square dance.
Well, that sure did. They kind of looked like the old Dallas Cowboys when they used to go up and down to try and pull the defense off before the snap. And it was effective there. The shift was able to pull the Mount defensive players off.
Here we take another
see
look.
The shift.
It looked like everybody needed to grab a partner.
Yeah, I mean that's another way to use the hard count. We said Xavier doesn't have a quarterback, and that's their way of using the hard count.
It brings up a 2nd and 1. Matina has trouble with the snap, able to bring it down safely, and it's going to be very close. We'll see where they spot it. Tell you, though, never a dull moment with this single wing.
No, not at all. And you can see there, the center is really valuable in this offense as well. He's got to be able to snap the ball in different places depending on the play. He can snap it to the fullback, to the tailback, one of the 2 people back behind him. And his job really is to lead that back into the hole that he's going to run it into.
Garrity on 3rd and a yard. He should have it. We'll wait for the official call. And Harry Shump says it's a first down for Xavier. So it brings a first down and 10 at the 41-yard line. But you talk about concentration and focus to follow this ball.
Well, I think, you know, you've seen it the last few years in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins bringing the Wildcat offense in, and that's spread like wildfire. And it was actually a year before that Miami Dolphins used it that Chris Stevens brought it here to Xavier.
And the toss to Matina, and Aqua chases him down and knocks him out of bounds. A forceful hit by the senior Gary Aqua.
Big play. Mount St. Michael's was able to follow the ball pretty effectively that time, and Aqua just chasing him down the sidelines with the big hit.
Now, Chris Stevens went to this single wing offense a couple of years ago. They had gone through a more traditional, I guess if you want to call it, wing T, and he started thinking about things and had ordered some DVDs of all things on the history of football. And once he saw one, he popped in the next one, and it sort of started to fuel itself. It got better and better, and he liked it more and more. And here we are a couple of years later, and this single wing is really caught on for the Xavier Knights team.
Well, I think, you know, when you see DVDs of Jim Thornton and the success he has, it's easy to try and follow that and use it.
The pass, the first attempted in 3 weeks, was intended for John Wilson, but it went off his hands. Only 12 pass attempts on the year coming in for the Xavier Knights, so they tried a little more deception there. But, you know, funny you talk about all those DVDs and how much Chris Stevens loved them. You know, I'm still waiting for mine here. You know, I think they got lost in the mail somewhere. Netflix didn't deliver the right ones. They went to Chris's place instead of mine. Probably better off though.
Well, they certainly didn't have many passing plays on those DVDs, as this Xavier team has been struggling through the air. Haven't completed a pass in over a month now. But it's difficult. It's something that they don't practice very often as well.
And passing on successive plays downfield, and it is nearly picked off by Najee Brown. So they went 2 weeks without throwing a pass, and now attempting a pass on back-to-back plays, both incomplete. As you mentioned, they have not completed a pass in several weeks. October 11th was the last one.
Garrity with a 360 spin on the fake. Tries throwing it up the field to number 23. That was Matina running down the sidelines. And he wasn't able to get enough on the ball to get it out there in front of him.
Now the question is, are we getting a punt or another running play right here? And this is a punt. And it's a good one as well, as it takes a Xavier bounce inside the 5-yard line. Terrific punt by Michael Parada, but it rolls into the end zone, so it'll come back to the 20-yard line. A 58-yard punt.
It was an excellent punt. It looked like it was about to stop just on the 1-yard line, but the Xavier man going down to down the kick. Looked like he just pushed it into the end zone for the touchback.
Dominic Gatta, excuse me, was the punter for Xavier, but you know, it wasn't also a traditional punt. Didn't really take those 2 or 3 steps. Just took one step and kicked it. Not a bad job.
Well, I think that's another thing that the single wing brings as well, is that quick punt ability. And you know, the origin of the quick punt again came off that single wing when you know, teams would use it effectively on 2nd and 3rd down at times.
I remember in the NFL, the last quick kick that I can remember seeing was a couple of years ago. Doug Flutie, were you ever involved in a game with a quick kick?
Yeah, I actually used to be a punter back in high school and college. I know in high school we used the quick punt every once in a while. You know, good on a 3rd and long situation if you know you're not, you know, don't have much chance and it's a field position battle. You know, you could really, you know, get a lot out of that quick punt and not allow the defense to return the ball at all.
First down run by Mount St. Michael, didn't produce any yards. Who would have thought that midway through the 2nd quarter, Xavier would have 2 pass attempts, Mount St. Michael none.
Exactly.
Mount St. Michael, the 7-0 lead, and flag stop play. Offsides, Mount St. Michael, that'll take them back a couple more.
Well, Mount St. Michael's been having a lot of effectiveness rushing the football. They haven't needed to pass as of yet. A great 90-yard scoring drive in their last possession, and You know, now they're starting deep in their territory again. We'll see if they could put together another long drive.
Well, the first one went 90 yards and resulted in a Tariq Hawkins 5-yard run, and that has been the only scoring of this first half thus far. Amaker pitches again to Hawkins. It worked once before for a touchdown, and this one picks up a couple of yards. It's going to be close to a first down.
Front. Come on, Pat. That's poor.
It looks like there's a flag on the play, holding.
So that'll nullify that run and
We got a
push him out a couple of yards further back.
All right, half the distance from him. All right, push him back. Second down again. That might be bag.
That option creates a lot of open field blocking opportunities. Makes it difficult for you know, the offensive player to stay on their man. Sometimes you know, defender reading that option will go one way and fake the other, and you know, force the offensive player to just reach out and grab them. And you know, the officials saw that and threw the flag on them, pushing them back to a 2nd and long situation.
So it's 2nd and 22. Ball spotted just inside the 10-yard line. And here's Amaker using the speed to get outside. He's upended by Dom DeFalco once again. And Amaker a little slow to get up. We mentioned he had the high ankle sprain suffered a couple of weeks ago against Fordham Prep and missed last week's game, but so far has looked strong here in the first half.
Yeah, he's running pretty well on that hurt ankle. As you can see, he's really fast right there.
That's Fiedler speed right there. I don't want to take away from your speed. I know, former decathlete as well as NFL quarterback. Quite the athletic career.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever ran that fast, though.
People suggested I take part in the javelin catch. Thankfully, I declined. Here's Amaker. Turns upfield, and he's stopped on 3rd down. So that'll bring on Randy Samuels and the punt team for Mount St. Michael.
Had a nice job by the Xavier defense holding the Mount St. Michael's to a 3-and-out here, forcing the punt. And they should get some very good field position off of this change of possession.
So John Wilson and Donovan Fuentes are the 2 return men. Check that, Brent Scottapane. And the ball stops at about the 44-yard line. So that's where Xavier will start with 6:36 left in the second quarter after a 37-yard punt by Randy Samuels.
And once again, the Xavier offense coming out without their leading rusher, Johnny Clark. He was shaken up on the kickoff return a little while back when he was hit pretty hard. We could see him on the sidelines trying to walk it off, trying to run it off, but still helmetless and not back out on the field.
Mount St. Michael, which held the ball for nearly the entire first quarter, eating up yards on the ground. The Xavier offense, with its second possession of the second quarter, starts with a run of about 6 yards by Chris Matina.
And again, Matina able to follow that wall of blockers, just wedging up the left side of the offense.
Coming up on 6 minutes left in the first half, Rich Ackerman, former NFL quarterback Jay Fiedler, and Stephen Gelbs down on the sidelines. Glad you could be with us for this quarterfinal playoff matchup. Here's Garrity straight ahead and pushes the pile. He's close to a first down. We'll see where the spot is. Might just bring up 3rd and short. Surprised they don't bring the chains on for a little measurement.
And it is short of the first down.
So it's 3rd and inches, which should make things interesting with this single wing offense. Garrity and Matina in the backfield. Matina off the snap, gets outside, a first down and more. Another Xavier first down to keep this drive alive.
And again, that 3rd and short is just a great situation for that single wing offense. Snapping it out to the tailback. They're able to get their offensive lineman out on the edge and just outflank the defense, creating some holes on the outside. You know, one of the things that this offense brings is the ability to really create double teams on the edges with their blockers. And you know, you mentioned it earlier, the last 4 games. You know, Chris Stevens had mentioned to us early in the week that the offensive line has shown the biggest improvement throughout the year, and that was a reason for their emergence over the last 4 games.
From the 42, here's Matina. And he is wrapped up. It looks like a rugby scrum out there, and it's certainly familiar to many of the Xavier players. 19 of them play on the rugby team as well. And their coach, Chris Stevens, also a former rugby player at Xavier during his days. Stevens graduating from Xavier in 1983, but it's kind of an interesting dynamic for them because playing rugby, he says the motions of the single wing are very similar to rugby, and they play rugby in the springtime as well, so they're in shape. They do their weightlifting for football, they do their cardiovascular for rugby, and the rugby coach and the football coaches, everybody's happy.
Well, they complement each other, that's for sure. And you know, like you said, Chris Stevens very happy to have his players out there playing rugby in the springtime, and you know, churning their legs and scrumming it up in the middle of the field. And like you said, it just you know, plays complement to that single wing offense that they're running. And Xavier really with one of the finest rugby programs in the country. You know, as you said, 19 of the players here on the football team play on that rugby team, and you know, year in and year out they produce some of the best teams that the country has. And
of course, as I mentioned earlier, Sean Kelly, the linebacker for Xavier, his older brother Seamus, who graduated last year, now playing rugby at Cal after a fine career at Xavier as a not only rugby player but football player, rushing for nearly 2,800 yards a year ago and 42 touchdowns. It's not a bad season. Second and 4, the shift is on. And we have a flag. The question is, who moved first?
Offside, blue.
We have the answer from our official this afternoon.
Well, if the offense doesn't get down in their stance, then you know, they're all out to move, and you know, that's what the shift brings. Obviously, was able to get one of the Mount St. Michael's players to jump off sides again.
Inside 4 minutes left in this first half. Mount St. Michael on top, 7-0, but Xavier on the move here. 1st and 10 from the 28. Matina takes the snap and has a hole and close to another Xavier first down. Well, Mario Valentini saying it's tough to not only stop this, but how do you prepare for it? You haven't really seen it that often.
Very difficult. And here you see Matina just finding the hole up the middle as his offensive lineman able to create just a small crease that he found, and was able to just sneak right through there for a great gain and a first down.
Chris Matina with 48 yards rushing and did pick up a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Mount St. Michael 20. Matina and John Garrity in the backfield. It's Wilson in motion, and Wilson gets the call. Wilson's got some room, and he's dragged down from behind by Najee Brown. Nice tackle by Najee Brown to slow down the speedy senior John Wilson.
Yeah, you said it. Wilson does have a lot of speed coming from that wingback position. They use him on a lot of these reverses and wide flank plays. And, you know, he's really their breakaway player, their big play player for the Xavier team. Was almost out on the edge, but excellent tackle by Brown.
2 weeks ago against Cardinal Spellman, only 4 carries for Wilson, 208 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And the shift, this time Mount holds. Matina looks for a hole. was shut down by Gary Aqua first, and then the rest of the blue shirts swarm in on him. He's close to another first down, and he gets it.
But really difficult to defend when they bring that shift over. You know, it's already an unbalanced line to one side, so you got to move the whole defense to accommodate for that. And then they shift over very quickly to create an unbalance on the other side. Defense has to react very quickly to get there, to be in position to defend those sneaky plays.
Well, it's been a very quick moving first half, as we mentioned. Only 2 pass attempts, both by Xavier. So everything else has come on the ground, and both teams have been able to move the ball effectively. But Xavier looking to find the end zone for the first time. Here's Matina straight ahead. He's down about the 6-yard line, a gain of 2. The last time Xavier was inside the Mount 10-yard line, they fumbled. It was early in the first quarter, and
that was on the opening drive.
Yep, Mount went the other way, 90 yards, kept the ball the rest of the quarter, and 2 plays into the second quarter found the scoreboard, and that's the only scoring we've had thus far.
Well, it's been a grinded out game, and Xavier looking to grind one into the end zone with under a minute to play.
2nd and goal from the 6. And on the shift, the flags fly once again. It's just amusing to see, Jay.
It absolutely is.
What's a delay game?
And the Mount coach is screaming for delay of game out here. Obviously no play clock out on the field. That's that comes from the referees. They keep the clock on their wrists.
33 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and goal. Matina cuts inside and find the end zone. Chris Matina makes it a 7-6 game on a 3-yard run.
And there you see once again Xavier getting set quick, creates that unbalanced line to the left, and a wall of blockers in front of Chris Matina. Walks into the end zone unscathed.
The 4th touchdown of the year for Chris Matina, and the first of the day for the Xavier Knights, and Matina will attempt the point after. And fumbled snap, Matina picks it up, tries to run, but he is brought down by Randy Samuels. So it's still a 1-point lead for Mount St. Michael with just under 30 seconds left in the first half. And you know, the way this game has gone, that point could be critical.
That could be very critical, absolutely. Look like this. Here we see the touchdown run again. Matina coming off the left line, and you see just a wall of blockers out in front. Number 7 there, Randy Samuels, had no chance to defend that play.
But Matina tried his best on the point after attempt to salvage something out of nothing, but to no avail. And Xavier trails by a 1, 7-6 in what has been an intriguing first half, with both teams running the ball almost exclusively, with the exception of 2 pass attempts. But running the ball effectively and trying to figure out who's going where has kept us on our toes.
It sure has, and you got to wonder with 29 seconds left, you know, what kind of offense Mount's going to bring when they get the ball off this kickoff.
Najee Brown and Eddie Cox are the deep men for Mount St. Michael. And remember, Mount deferred to Xavier to start the game. So even if they just take a knee here, they'll get the ball to start the second half. And the squib kick fielded at about the 20-yard line. And Frank Manaloni taken down at the 40-yard line.
And that does set up pretty good field position for them. They have 2 timeouts left. We'll see if they could generate enough offense, move the ball downfield, at least get in field goal position.
The 2 scoring drives that we've had today both took a lot of time. Mount's just under 10 minutes, and this one for Xavier just over 6 minutes before Chris Matina took it in from 3 yards out to bring Xavier within 1. 23 seconds left in this first half. on a 60-degree afternoon in the Bronx on the campus of Mount St. Michael Academy. From the 44, that's Eddie Cox in motion. Amaker to throw for the first time, gets rid of it, and incomplete. And the intended receiver was Michael Parada.
First pass for this Mountaineer team today. You had to figure that with little time on the clock and a long way to go to get this touchdown. I think one of the tells was the fact that Gary Aqua was not in the game. You know, knowing that they were just going to spread this offense out and try and throw the ball downfield.
And check that the intended receiver on the last play was Benito Cruz, number 23, not number 33, Michael Parada. So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Jordan Buford, the wide receiver, lined up on the bottom of the screen. And this time, more traditional as Cruz takes it forward. And a timeout called with 13 seconds left in the half. If you're Mario Valentini, you could try going to the end zone, just putting it up for grabs and seeing if you can get a jump ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a long way to throw it all the way into the end zone. I'm not sure if Amaker has that type of arm right now. I mean, they're on the 50. He's going to need to throw it at least 55 to 60 yards to get it down there. And they're not really a passing team. But they can, you know, in under 13 seconds, they still have a timeout left. They can drive the ball downfield and still, you know, put themselves in a good position to possibly set up a field goal situation. Or, you know, the Xavier team here is in a little bit of a prevent defense. You know, their safeties are playing very deep. The corners are playing off a little bit. You know, you might be able to set up maybe a screen pass or you know, something underneath and see if one of your players could run it downfield for a score.
And Amaker scrambling, and he is brought down for a loss. Nice play by Steve Ruda to bring down the junior quarterback Jalen Amaker, and that'll bring this first half to an end. And what an interesting first half it was. Most of the work done on the ground, and Mount St. Michael takes a 7-6 lead into the halftime locker room. Both teams went scoreless through the first quarter. Xavier had a chance on its opening drive, but fumbled at the 10-yard line, and Mount St. Michael picked it up, went the other way 90 yards, but didn't find the end zone until the second quarter. 2 plays in, a 4-yard run by Tariq Hawkins was the first touchdown of the day. And then Chris Matina answering a short time ago for Xavier, but the point after was no good, so that's where we stand. 7-6 at the half. Mount St. Michael in front. Let's head down to the sideline. Our Stephen Gelbs is standing by with Mount head coach Mario Valentini.
Thanks a lot, guys. Here with Coach Valentini after the first half. And Coach, we're just a little over a day removed from the tragic death of junior running back Kyle Rembert. How proud of you of your guys that they were able to come out here and not just put forth a solid effort, but go into half up 1 point?
Well, they're working hard. You know, we went into this game with Kyle on our minds, and the kids are really playing hard, and that's all we can ask for them.
Coach, what were the range of emotions for you in that first half?
Just trying to keep everything in check, really. You know, keep in check, you know, be there for the kids.
What are you feeling right now?
We had to come out the second half and continue playing hard and hopefully come out on the right side of the score.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys?
Thank you very much, Stephen Gelbs. An emotional day here on the campus of Mount St. Michael Academy. If you weren't with us earlier, running back Kyle Rembert tragically passed away yesterday of carbon monoxide poisoning, and he is fondly remembered by his teammates today. His jersey on the bench, and many of them wearing black armbands and the number 45 on their helmets. And right now, making him proud with a 7-6 lead at the half over Xavier. Welcome back to Mount St. Michael Academy in the Bronx, where the Mountaineers lead the Xavier Knights at the half, 7-6. There weren't many highlights in the first half. Both teams sticking on the ground, but there were a couple, and here are some of them.
And here you see Jalen Amaker faking the dive up the middle, getting the pitch out to Tariq Hawkins, who blasts his way in for the touchdown. We'll get another look. Here, Amaker drawing the defensive end to him. Very nice job. Pitching it onto the edge. And there's the go-ahead touchdown to get it to 7-0 Mountaineers. Coming back, Xavier with Chris Matina off the left edge with a wall of blockers in front of him, able to run into the end zone untouched. But the difference in the game was a botched extra point here by the Xavier team that leaves it 7-6 Mountaineers.
So an exciting first half. The Mountaineers up by 1. A closer look at the numbers of the first half. Pretty even.
Absolutely. Well, two rushing teams. You don't see any passing yards at all. There were a couple attempts by Xavier middle of the game, and Mount St. Michael's kind of in the last drive just in desperation attempt. But 7 first downs on both sides, about 100 yards on both sides as well, and an evenly matched game.
And the big one, though, that turnover in the first quarter on their opening possession. Xavier turned it over. Mount St. Michael went the other way for the touchdown. We'll be back with a second half kickoff when we return on MSG Varsity with Mount up 7-6 on Xavier. Welcome back as we get ready for the start of the second half. If you weren't with us earlier, tragedy struck this Mount St. Michael team yesterday when running back Kyle Rembert passed away of carbon monoxide poisoning, and the team has his jersey on the sideline today. The players wearing the number 45 on their helmets, as well as black wristbands as well, remembering their teammate and friend. As we get ready to start this third quarter, Mount St. Michael up 7-6 on Xavier and ready to receive the kickoff. The kick by Chris Matina is taken at the 12-yard line by Eddie Cox. He's across the 30, the 40, and he's finally taken down. So a strong return by Eddie Cox to start the second half, 27 yards.
Excellent return up the middle by Cox. Got a wall of blockers in front, created a nice crease. Here, as you can see, gets a nice wall of blockers in front. He finds the hole, just dragged down from behind by 3 Xavier tacklers.
On its first possession of the first half, Mount St. Michael kept the ball for nearly the entire first quarter, and 2 plays into the second quarter found the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. Here they get the ball first to start the second half. Amaker on the run, tucks it away, and he has a first down as he goes down the sidelines and into Xavier territory. A first down, a big play from quarterback Jalen Amaker.
And they've had a lot of success off of that keeper by Amaker. Once again, coming in, faking a dive, comes around on the edge, finds the crease up the field, and a game's touchdown-saving tackle by John Garrity for the Xavier team.
A 22-yard gain for Jalen Amaker. Puts the ball at the 38. Amaker had a strong first half. 43 yards rushing in that first half. And on first down, Gary Aqua takes it ahead a couple. Brought down from behind by Patrick Nielsen.
Xavier team's been doing a nice job of stopping Aqua from really getting going here today. They need to make sure that they keep an eye on Amaker when he keeps the ball around edge, though. That's, you know, those are the plays that have really been stifling the Xavier defense thus far.
Aqua just 32 yards rushing on 7 carries. Picking up 4 on that last play. Make it 2nd and 6 from the 34. Amaker keeps it, fakes the pitch, but Garrity doesn't fall for it and takes him down. A gain of a couple. It's going to be short of a first down, it appears, by about a yard or 2.
And Garrity doing a nice job of slow playing the option coming at him. He was playing both the quarterback and the pitch man. Decided to come back as he saw Amaker cut it up the middle. Was able to get back and make the tackle on Amaker, short of the first down.
3rd and 2 from the 30-yard line. Aqua is the lone back. And he takes it ahead. First down and more. Great job by Gary Aqua to pick up the first down and then some.
Well, so much for neutralizing the big man. The baby bus just taking it up the middle. Finds a nice crease up there and just barreling through. Xavier, nice defenders for an excellent gain and a first down.
Gain of 14 brings it down to the 10-yard line. Check that, the 15-yard line. And this time it's Aqua again, but he's bottled up. Mike Potter was the first man in on the stop.
Good job by Potter getting underneath the big man's pads. He held his ground firm, pinched down inside, and was able to stuff Aqua at the line of scrimmage.
So Gary Aqua averaging just over 5 yards a carry on the day. A little more than 2.5 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Amaker, the toss to Eddie Cox, and he's knocked out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and short coming up as Eddie Cox brings them that much closer to the end zone for the second time today.
And Amaker doing a nice job there of reading the end coming at him. Pitches it out to Cox, who gets out on the edge for a 7-8 yard gain, creating 3rd and short. Big play here for the Mountaineers.
It'll be a 3rd and 2 from the 7. Aqua behind Amaker. And it's Aqua straight ahead. Looks to be enough for a first down.
You know, 3rd and 2, it seems like everyone here in the Bronx knew that Aqua was getting the ball up the middle, but Xavier still unable to stop him. They were able to get a little trap play up there, create a small crease, just enough for Aqua to get his big body through and drag himself forward for the first down.
We got 6'2" Gary Aqua against 6'2" Patrick Coleman on the defensive line. Hawkins takes the pitch and stopped by John Wilson. Nice job for a loss of a couple on the play.
The Xavier defense really snuffed that one out. Saw the option coming. They had players defending the quarterback and defending the pitch. John Wilson stepping up.
This has become like a chess match here. Which, can you top me here? And trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And it has been very intriguing to watch. On 2nd down from the 8. Aqua, and he gets a couple of yards closer, but it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, like you said, Mario Valentini trying to find the right formula of mixing it up between Aqua up the middle and Jalen Amaker running the option around the edge. This drive so far, the last few plays, they've had some good success giving it to Aqua up the middle. And we'll see on 3rd down from about the 2-3 yard line what they decide to do.
3rd down and goal from the 4. They've converted on the 2 previous 3rd down plays. Cox trying to make it a 3rd. And he is brought down short of the end zone.
Valentini electing to use Cox with the speed on the quick pitch to the outside. He found a little bit of a crease, but was stopped just short of the touchdown. Good play, nice pursuit by the Xavier defense. And number 31, Sean Kelly, with a nice stop, saving the touchdown from being made by Cox.
So on 4th and goal from the 1, Mount St. Michael goes for it, and the handoff to Aqua, flags down. He's in. We'll see what the call is. And it goes against Mount.
Looked like Amaker tried going with a quick count there. trying to get the ball off before the Xavier defense was ready, but unfortunately,
left tackle, left
his
end
own
weren't
guys
set.
weren't set by the time he snapped the ball. And that pushes him 5 yards back, creates a 4th and goal now from the 6-yard line.
You know, the kicker is strong of foot as Randy Samuels. Do you go for the field goal right here now that you're backed up 5 yards? Or you take a shot here on 4th and goal from the 6.
Well, it looks like Valentini is going to go for the 6 here. They've had some nice success on this drive. We'll see what they decide to do, whether they go with Aqua or Amaker.
Going for 6. Amaker to throw to the end zone. Touchdown! David Lajani comes up with the grab to extend the Mount St. Michael lead.
And Valentini fooling everyone there with the passing play. Goes with the full house backfield, wishbone backfield there. Everyone thought they were going to just run a little power run up the middle. And here you see Amaker faking it to his tailback, getting out on the edge. Nice little toss into the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
And here's Randy Samuels, the left-footed kicker, on for the point after, and it is good. So with just under 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, Mount going to the air and coming up with a touchdown pass to make it 14-6.
And here we see again the fake to Hawkins. Amaker finds his man Cox in the corner. I'm sorry, that was number 81, David Lograjaj, with the touchdown.
Let's head down to the sidelines right now and check in with Stephen Gelb. Stephen?
Thanks a lot, guys. Jay, you just said that they lined up and faked everybody out because everybody thought they were going to go with the power run up the middle, but they may not have faked out Xavier coach Chris Stevens, who told me this week that they like to pound you with Gary Aqua, but the key to beating this team is to stop everybody else. He says they pound you with Aqua, but they kill you with everybody else. He said, I'd rather be bludgeoned to death by the fullback than beaten by everybody on the outside. That time, even though he might have known it was coming, Xavier was unable to stop. Now, guys.
Thank you very much, Stephen. As another successful Mount St. Michael drive. They scored on their first possession of the first half and did so on the second half to take a 14-6 lead. The kick by Samuels, a good one, and this will not be returned as it goes into the end zone. So Xavier will start from its own 20-yard line with just under 6 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
Well, Samuels really does have a nice strong leg there. Kicks a good extra point field goal, and you see with a nice touchback on the kickoff there, pinning Xavier back on their own 20-yard line.
You know, as you said, you just saw the great leg of Randy Samuels, which is why I brought up that situation of possibly going for a field goal, but the nice deception, and it leads to the 6-yard touchdown pass, capping an 11-play, 60-yard drive in just over 6 minutes. And Mount now up by 14-6 score on Xavier midway through the 3rd quarter. Everybody's shifting now. I think the broadcasters need to do that as well. Move over a step to your left. Here's Bettina on 1st down. Another fumble. We'll see who's got it at the bottom of the pile. Teams from both teams pointing that they have it. We'll see who the officials say has it. And it belongs to Xavier, so it'll bring up 2nd down.
Mount doing a nice job just finally staying on sides with that shift, first of all, and then stuffing the run by Matina. He was able to get a 5-yard gain before coughing up the ball, but was able to jump right back on it and retain possession for the Knights.
2nd down. Here's Johnny Clark, who's back in the game, who missed most of the first half after being shaken up. At that time, he is stopped cold.
Mount doing a nice job getting penetration into the backfield, shutting down that single wing offense, which likes to create rushing lanes with double teams on the outside by wedging the ball up in the middle. The one thing that really upsets that from the defensive side is getting penetration into the backfield, and Mount does a nice job there.
Bring up 3rd and 5 from the 25. Johnny Clark walked off the field a little gingerly. The man in motion is Wilson. And not too many avenues for him to go, and he shut down the first guy there was Gary Aqua. Andrew Pena also in on the stop.
And a deceiving single wing offense, not deceiving Mount right now. They saw that reverse coming. Was able to get good flow on the ball and not allow Wilson with any room to run.
You know, I know we're only 8 minutes into the third quarter, but at some point you have to start worrying about the clock, Jay, given the way that both teams have held on to the ball here. On fourth down, here's the kick. And it rolls inside the 30, inside the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. Very nice kick.
An excellent kick by Xavier, 52 yards right there, getting down to the 24-yard line of Mount. And being in that single wing formation, it allowed them to keep the Mount defense out on the field, and there was no deep return man there to field the punt. And Mount will take possession here at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
Amaker, the flip to Eddie Cox, has some room across the 30, and he's bottled up by Patrick Nielsen. Nice run by Eddie Cox.
Good job getting out on the edge. Gets a nice block out here by number 15, Hawkins. Here, Eddie Cox running out on the edge, getting out to the sidelines, spinning upfield for a nice 15-yard gain. Here you see it again. Like we mentioned before, there's the block. Nice job setting Cox free, giving him an extra 7 yards to run.
1st and 10 on the 34. This time it's Aqua on 1st down, and he barrels his way past the 40-yard line, a pickup of about 6.
And Stephen Gelbs mentioned it a minute ago. You know, this Mount team will just barrel you with Aqua up the middle, play in and play out, but their big plays do come on the edge. As you saw 2 plays ago with Cox, Amaker was able to get a few nice big runs early in the game, but pounding it out with Aqua up the middle keeps that defense in check.
A gain of 7 for Gary Aqua makes it 2nd and 3. Amaker, the flip to Hawkins. Hawkins has a hole, turns upfield across the 40 and out of bounds inside the 35.
Hawkins with great speed, bursting up through the hole off the option play. Run out of bounds by Dom DeFalco for Xavier.
A lot of real estate.
This was the play a few plays ago with Cox off to the right side. Running, spinning upfield. They came back to the left side the last play with Hawkins. Again on the option. Creating some more big plays for the Mountaineers.
A 21-yard run for Tariq Hawkins brings up 1st and 10 from the Xavier 39. Amaker looks to the air and throws, and it's deflected away. Jordan Buford was the intended receiver. Nicholas Conti, the defensive back, with the coverage.
Nice job, man-to-man defense there by Conti, getting his left arm in there, just knocking the ball away.
Well, Jalen Amaker has certainly done it with his feet, but through the air, he has the touchdown pass. And his 2 other attempts both going incomplete, but a nice play right there by Nicholas Conti to break up that pass.
Those plays just keep that defense thinking, though.
Here's Cox. Turns upfield, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 30.
Again, this Mountaineer offense just making you play the whole field. They make you play the middle with Aqua. They make you play the sidelines with their option play. Here you see Cox getting it out on the edge once again. Another good block there by Hawkins, springing him free for another 1st down for the Mountaineer offense.
A gain of 12 for the first down, brings it down to the 24-yard line for Jalen Amaker and Mount St. Michael. Up 14-6. And this time straight ahead, not much there. Mike Quick knows everything about high school sports, and he's taking your calls live on a Quick 60. Call in live at 516-224-6100. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on MSG Varsity. Right here, minute 30 left in the third quarter. Mount St. Michael up by 8 and looking to add to it on 2nd and 7 from the 25. Amaker keeps it himself, and he's brought down by Sean Kelly.
It looks like Amaker might have upset that injury to his right ankle. He's getting up very slowly.
See if we can pick up where the...
Yeah, it was a planned keeper here by Amaker, coming off the edge, getting the lead block, and gets his leg just stuck underneath him.
Looks like, though, it may be the other ankle. He has the brace. You can see that black brace on the ankle, but this one the other one just rolled under him. It looked like.
Well, he has the black brace on his left ankle, but he's got a pretty heavy tape job on his right as well.
He gets up and see if he's able to continue. Last week, without Amaker, they went to 2-quarterback system with Chris Coombs and Najee Brown, depending on what the situation was. But Amaker has been so much to this team, as we've seen today. A guy who's got tremendous speed and really, you know, at this point of the season, this is his first year starting at quarterback. He's picked up the system so well as the season has gone on to come to this point and not continue.
He's done an excellent job of really giving them the full complement of their offense. You know, between running the ball with the power run, Aqua up the middle. But he really makes things happen on the edge with either his keepers or running the option, pitching it to the outside to either Cox or Hawkins. And every once in a while dropping back and passing the ball, which I like to see.
The old quarterback. That's Jay Fiedler. Spent over a decade in the NFL. Rich Ackerman and Stephen Gelbs down on the sidelines. Mount St. Michael leading by a score of 14-6 over Xavier. 1:20 left in this third quarter. On 3rd and 7 from the 25, it's Najee Brown in at quarterback. Amaker must come out for at least a play. And the handoff to Aqua stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 4th down from about the 25-yard line. Randy Samuels has a very strong leg, but I don't know if he's going to hit from 42 plus.
Nah, it's a little too far out of his range there. He probably has a leg, but very difficult from that distance to be accurate as well. And they bring Amaker back in. It seems his ankle and leg good enough to get back in the game for a critical 4th down play.
4th and 8. Amaker keeps it. The toss to Cox. Cox with room. It's going to be close. Looks like he has enough for the first down, and he does. So a big 4th down play will move the chains as Eddie Cox gets a big first down.
And again, you see what Amaker brings to this offense, running the option to perfection, drawing the defensive end to him, pitching it out to Cox out on the edge.
And that's going to do it for this third quarter. Mount St. Michael adding to its lead with a touchdown. Jalen Amaker, this time doing it through the air to put Mount St. Michael up by a score of 14-6 on Xavier on a very emotional day for the Mount St. Michael Mountaineers, learning yesterday their friend and teammate Kyle Rembert died tragically of carbon monoxide poisoning, and remembering their teammate and friend today, and right now lead after 3, 14-6. Start of the fourth quarter with Mount St. Michael on top, 14-6. Rich Ackerman, Stephen Gelbs on our sidelines, along with my partner in the booth, former NFL quarterback Jay Fiedler. 1st and 10 from the 14 for Mount St. Michael after the big 4th quarter carry by Eddie Cox. 4th down carry, I should say, got them the 1st down. Here's Aqua, tries to get outside and tripped up by Dom DeFalco, who appears to be shaken up on the play. And we're going to bring in the medical staff on the field to get a look at Dom DeFalco.
Aqua with his big 235-pound frame got a head of steam there. DeFalco tried coming in low. It looked like he got his helmet right in front of Aqua's knee as he came up, and he is shaken up on the field.
We'll get a closer look here.
Another look, DeFalco coming up. Oh, really got kneed in the back of the head. He's feeling that, moving his extremities, which is a good sign. But certainly the medical staff and coaches not going to take all precautions here.
Well, he does get up under his own power, which is very good, and he's now being helped off the field. It should be noted that we opened our telecast, unfortunately, with the tragic news of the passing of Kyle Rembert, who died yesterday of carbon monoxide poisoning. That Dominic DeFalco's father is here today, Dominic Sr., and one of many Xavier parents who have donated some money to the family of Kyle Rembert, and they've already raised several $100s. So not only is good sportsmanship, but certainly a very warm heart, open heart by Dominic DeFalco Sr., and certainly worth mentioning. As Dominic Jr. comes off the field. 2nd and 6, a gain of 4 by Aqua. Amaker this time, the pitch one more time to Cox. He's heading for the end zone and walks in for the touchdown. Eddie Cox, his 1st touchdown of the day. An 11-yard run makes it 20-6.
They've been having some great success off of that play to the right side, the option. And here we see it again. Amaker getting on the edge, pitching it to Cox, getting another nice block by Hawkins on the edge, springs him free, and runs right to the corner of the end zone, getting past the pylon for 6.
Randy Samuels on for the point after. He's 2 for 2 today. And this one is good, make it 3 for 3. And puts Mount St. Michael up by 15 in the early stages of this 4th quarter. Now, we've seen a lot of time-consuming drives here today, Jay, but the Xavier offense can come back with a big play in a hurry. I mean, they've done it in this winning streak 4 times with runs over 50 yards, including 2 of over 70. So far today, Mount St. Michael has held its own against the single-wing offense, but you always have to be wary of that big play. As the Mount St. Michael scoring drive took just over 4 minutes, 11 plays, 77 yards, and number 22, Eddie Cox, taking it in from 11 yards out to make it a 15-point game.
And certainly you touched on it a second ago, but the Xavier offense definitely has that big play ability. They haven't been able to, really get anything going yet and find the creases in the defense as yet today, but they also haven't had the ball very much today as well, as the Mount St. Michael's offense is just, pounding it out and keeping possession of the ball throughout most of this game. They've kept it for almost 10 minutes throughout the 3rd quarter, and then had it about a minute into the 4th as well.
And this kick is high and sailing out of bounds. So we'll get a flag on the play, and we'll see if in fact they ask Mount St. Michael to re-kick, or they'll just take it at the 35. And they are going to ask Randy Samuels to back up 5 yards and re-kick. So Xavier definitely wants the return and trying to make something happen. They have not had a touchdown return this year. Almost all of their touchdowns have been on the ground, 1 through the air, a 69-yard pass play against St. Peter's, but nothing on the return team yet.
Yeah, one of their top returners, Johnny Clark, is on the sidelines. Not in the ball game right now, but they do have a couple very good returners, and Wilson and Matina back.
And here's Wilson from his own 9. Goes straight ahead, and he is wrapped up at the 22-yard line. And the Mount St. Michael defense and special teams, what a day they've had. And what a day they've had all around. Talk about a courageous effort after experiencing the tragedy of their friend and teammate Kyle Rembert yesterday. You know, Mario Valentini wasn't even sure what to expect from his team today, but they have played an outstanding game.
Well, certainly playing with a lot of emotion. You see all that emotion coming out on that kickoff right there, as all 11 Mount St. Michael's players got to the football.
So Xavier starts from its own 24-yard line. Here's Garrity. Garrity slips across the 25 and maybe gets to the 26-yard line, at most a gain of 2.
And for the first time today, you saw Xavier split their wingback out wide, trying to spread the defense out just a little bit more. They've been getting stuffed the last few possessions, trying to get it up the middle. They're trying to spread this defense out a little bit more side to side, create another crease for them to run into.
2nd and 8 on the 26. Wilson make that Garrity to throw. It's a short throw. It was caught, but it does not look like the Mount St. Michael defender Jai Grinnell stayed in bounds, and he did not. Let's head down to the sideline right now and check in with Stephen Gelbs.
Thanks a lot, guys. Got an injury update for you on Dom DeFalco. He was certainly shaken up on the play, but nothing serious has happened. He will be back in this game right now. He's running on the sidelines back and forth, getting himself prepped and ready to go. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Certainly encouraging news. Also on the injury front, Jay, as we talked about big plays, Johnny Clark, who has missed most of this game with an injury. 8 touchdowns on the year, most in the Double-A division, and that's a big weapon taking out of the lineup today.
Well, absolutely. That's been a big loss for them all day today. He got hurt early in the game. Came back a couple times, but really has not been in the game very much.
This time the pass to Joe Corrado, the tight end, a first down, and he's close to midfield, out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So the 4th pass attempt of the day by Xavier, and the first completion since October 11th.
Well, coming back from a 21-6 deficit right now, they might need to complete a few more passes.
And it was a 13-yard pickup by Joe Corrado, the tight end. Now we get it. Every time it happens, I'm sorry, but it just brings a chuckle. There's just no other way to say it.
Well, the encroachment on the defense here at the high school level, you don't have to actually go across the line and touch an offensive player. You just got to cross that line of scrimmage.
4th time.
And here with the shift.
Mount St. Michael has fallen for the shift. 1st and 5 from the 39. And this time it's Garrity on the handoff. And a flag down. Close to a first down, but we'll see what this flag is. And it is on Xavier.
Blue, Captain. And so what?
Nah, but I'll be trying to I'll be stepping like this. I'll be like, nah, because I'll take it off. He's strong,
Looks to be a chop block by the Xavier offensive lineman.
And that's going to bring him back 15 yards. For a team that had been making such progress, moving the ball and down 15 points, that penalty is really going to set them back.
That was a first down play.
So to make it 1st and 20. A long afternoon for Chris Stevens' team. He said this game would be a true indicator. They, as we mentioned earlier, they played the toughest part of their schedule early and started 1-3 and have rolled off 4 straight wins, but not only going against this Mount St. Michael team, but a very well-coached team, and how much he has respect for him. One more time, Garrity to the air for Corrado, and this one he can't hold on. Randy Samuels with a big hit that came a little too late, and it's going to be a personal foul.
Here you see again the ball coming off the fingertips here. Clearly was on the ground. And Samuels coming up a little bit late there. Well, creating the personal foul and first down for the Xavier team.
A little more discipline was necessary on that play. Samuels got a little over anxious, and Mount St. Michael's going to pay for
personal
it.
Personal foul. Second down.
The 15 yards. They just moved back, now move forward. When you think about what just happened, you go from 1st and 20 to 2nd down and 5. Makes a big difference, especially with 9:19 left. Both teams shifting now. And here's Garrity, straight ahead, has some room, gets the first down, and he's finally moved backwards. And again, a lot of chippy play right there. The whistle had sounded. Teams trying to make sure nothing happens, but we've seen 2 personal fouls in the last 3 plays and nearly got another one there as Terrence Tyler made the stop.
Well, certainly Xavier just trying to make something happen here on offense. Had some nice success on that last play to Garrity, and showing the emotion of the day and emotion of the game come out at the end of the play.
Matina with some room. Hole closes up, but he finds a way to get out of it. He picks up a first down, and he's inside the 20. Terrific run by Chris Matina. A 28-yard run.
Excellent job by Matina getting out on the edge and just keeping his legs moving. Looked like he was about to get stopped. As we see here again, just following his wall of blockers. Looked like he was stopped right about here. Keeps moving his legs, stays on his feet, gets to the outside and breaks free for another 15 yards after the initial hit.
And it's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 87 yards rushing today for Matina. And he'll add to it here. Correction, that was Johnny Clark, number 28, back in the game. So Clark, who's walked gingerly off the field a couple of times today, back in there, able to pick up a couple, and Matina back in the game.
Courageous coming back off that injured leg that he suffered early in the game. Clark with a nice game. 7 yards, creating this 2nd and 3.
Inside 8 minutes left. Xavier down 21-6. The snap goes to Matina. He follows some blockers, looking for some room. And it's going to be 1st and goal as he gets inside the 5. There's a huge pile down there. We'll have to see where, in fact, Matina winds up. Now he walks away from that pile. 95 yards rushing on the day for Chris Matina, who's not only the leading rusher on Mount St. Michael, but the 3rd leading rusher in the AA division behind Caleb Gilligan-Evans of Stepanak and Darrell Hunter of St. John the Baptist.
Matina doing a very nice job of just staying patient before that wall of blockers, finding the crease and exploding through there.
So the ball spotted at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal for Xavier with under 7 minutes left. Here's Johnny Clark. And ahead for a couple. But the clock continues to move.
Clark there just trying to wedge it up the middle there. Mentioned earlier, he's the leading touchdown scorer for the Xavier team. They tried to get him in the end zone once again there. They stopped short.
2nd and goal from the 4. Matina one more time, and he's in for the touchdown. Chris Matina, his 4th touchdown of the year, and trying to bring Xavier back with just over 6 minutes left.
And a good job again. You see Matina get the snap from the center, showing that patience, following his big blockers up front. That was number 72, Pat Coleman, out in front of him, doing a nice job on the edge, getting up the field, creating the hole for Matina to break through for the touchdown.
Well, down by a score of 21-12. Xavier's going to go for the 2-point attempt, trying to make it a 21-14 game. Here's Garrity, cuts inside and into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. So John Garrity makes it a 21-14 game, and Xavier now down 7 with 6:13 left. A big boost for the Xavier Knights as they try to get back into this one in the 4th quarter.
And here's the touchdown again with Matina coming out on the edge, finding the hole up the middle, making a nice cut right up there and finding pay dirt.
So with 6:13 left, Mount St. Michael taking the field, trying to extend its 21-14 lead over Xavier. Tragic news yesterday. Kyle Rembert, Mount St. Michael running back, passing away of carbon monoxide poisoning, and his teammates and friends remembering him today with the number 45 taped to their helmets and his jersey on the sideline. And obviously he's very much in their hearts today as Mount St. Michael leads Xavier 21-14. Let's go down to the sidelines right now and check in with Stephen Gelbs.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm here now with Tom O'Hara, a member of the Xavier Football Alumni Association. Tom, your association and the parents on the Xavier sidelines kind of impromptu put together a sizable donation for the family of Kyle Rembert. Can you tell me how that came about?
It was just spur of the moment. Everybody was kind of shocked and upset when we got here today and heard what happened to Kyle. It's the Xavier alumni and the parents and so forth. They're just a generous bunch of people, and it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was just some spur. We do things like this all the time. It's just spur of the moment. Just a fellow, we can identify with the player and his team and the coaches and parents. It could have been us.
All right. Well, what do you hope this donation does to help the family?
I hope it goes towards whatever expenses they need it for, and I would say to Mount St. Michael, if there's any future fundraising efforts for Kyle's family, call us, let us know. We'll be happy to pitch in again.
All right, thanks so much, Tom, for joining us. We'll now send it back up to the booth.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. Very generous of the Xavier Alumni Association, the parents on hand, and everybody here today, obviously with heavy hearts after the tragic news that came yesterday of the passing of Kyle Rembert.
Well, certainly a great show of compassion by the Xavier Parents Alumni Association there. Not only affected the people on Mount St. Michael's, but when you hear news like that, it really affects anyone, parents, players, coaches, that play in the same football field, play in the same league, and puts things really in perspective.
Friends of teammates and parents all describe Kyle Rembert as a guy who enjoyed to laugh and never a problem, and just a great kid to be around, and it certainly is a tragedy. There's just no other way to describe it. Mount St. Michael, after the kickoff, will start from the 25 in their own end. With 6:06 left, the Mountaineers cling to a 7-point lead. Chris Matina's second touchdown run of the day, and a 2-point conversion brought Xavier to within 7 with just over 6 minutes left. As Jalen Amaker, who had re-injured his ankle earlier, appears to be okay, and back on the field at quarterback for the Mountaineers.
And with 6 minutes left, Xavier is going to have to find a way to get this Mount St. Michael's offense off the field before time runs out.
They start from the 30. And the pitch to Tariq Hawkins. And the flag as Hawkins runs out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be a holding.
Holding blue.
Dom DeFalco, who took that hit to the head, is back in.
That was Eddie Cox on the edge. Called for the holding. As Amaker looks like he's shaken up on the play as well.
One more time, he may have to come out of the game for at least a play, as he's right now down on all fours. Not quite sure where that injury took place, but especially, you know, on this grass field in that area where you see a lot of mud patches. Perhaps he just slid.
Well, looks like he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
See him breathing a little heavy. I think you're right. I'm sure someplace that you've been, and I'm sure it's not a very pleasant feeling.
No, certainly not. But he's showing a lot of courage coming back off of that ankle injury. He's gotten shaken up a couple times today. Down on the ground again, and I'm sure we'll see him back in the game pretty shortly. He'll have to come out for one play. But he's really shown a lot of great leadership here for the Mountaineer team.
And how long does it take to shake something like that off?
Well, it should, you know, it should come back pretty quickly. Looks like he just, you know, got a hit. He's holding his stomach there. You know, really took the wind out of him. I didn't see the play, didn't see exactly what the hit was, but looks like he's standing up fine, getting his breath back, and hopefully we'll see him back on the field pretty shortly.
Chris Williams, you saw the 45, Kyle Rembert's number, painted on his face. And flags down once again.
Offside, Xavier.
So as you mentioned, Xavier needs a big defensive stand here, but that penalty is certainly not going to help matters much.
No, certainly not. And with this Mount team able to, you know, just eat up the clock throughout most of this game with long, drawn-out drives, Xavier's going to have to find a way to stop them short of the first downs and get the ball back on the offensive side.
Najee Brown stays in at quarterback, under 6 minutes left. Cox in motion. And Brown keeps it, takes it ahead for a couple. Najee Brown filling in for Jalen Amaker, what seems to be momentarily.
And Brown able to get some experience over the last couple of weeks with the injury to Amaker.
Picked up 5 on that last play, Brown did. As Amaker has had a very strong day coming back from the ankle injury. 67 yards rushing, of course, a 6-yard touchdown pass. 2nd and 5 from the 35 of Mount St. Michael. Aqua gets the call, and he's straight ahead for a first down. So a new set of downs with just over 5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, and Mount nursing a 7-point lead.
And those are the plays right there that keep this Mountaineer team going. The dive here to Aqua, nice cut to the backside. Sees the hole, gets up, trucks his way up the field for the first down.
You know, it's really been a tremendous day for both teams. You know, you never know how the opponent's going to react to when you hear tragic news, and I'm sure it takes a toll on them as well, but both teams have had a tremendous day thus far. And it's been an outstanding game with 4:26 left. And Mount St. Michael up 21-14.
As that was Amaker back in at quarterback. He seems to have found his breath again with the keeper for a 2-yard gain.
You know, Mario Valentini, the head coach of Mount St. Michael, said this season has been a big learning curve. It took time to get everything together. But right now they're just trying to take it one game at a time, go on a winning streak, and try to end up perhaps with the championship and a winning record as well. But right now, on their way with a 21-14 lead. Mount St. Michael 2-5 on the year, but coming off a win over Chaminade. Had a crushing loss to Fordham Prep 2 weeks ago, losing in the final seconds 42-41 in what was a thrilling game. And here trying to advance to the semifinals.
And Mount with the ball on second down now. Amaker, as you see, back in the game. They'll be trying to just eat this clock up with 4 minutes left in the game and running. Xavier is going to have to do a nice job here of stopping them from getting any more first downs in order to get a chance to come back, and that is certainly not going to help them.
Xavier repeats second down.
And that was Luna Michaud who got called for the offside. He jumped. Third penalty of the day for the Xavier Knights. Mount St. Michael has been penalized 8 times, many of them on that shift.
And the defensive penalty does not stop the clock. It keeps on going. 5 yards down, sets up second and short. Xavier's going to have to come up with a big play now.
Coming up on 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Mount St. Michael up by 7. Aqua carrying the pile. There were at least 5 white shirts in there trying to stop him.
And we talked about Xavier having a lot of rugby players out there that looked like a rugby scrum.
That it did. When the effort by the Xavier Knights is going to be close to a first down. The effort, though, not good enough on that play as Aqua able to keep his feet moving and pick up the first down. Clock stops momentarily to move the chains, but now begins again and inside 3:20.
And now Chris Stevens, coach of Xavier, is going to have to think about utilizing his timeouts pretty soon if he can't stop him from another first down.
Each team has 3. First and 10 from the Xavier 45. Amaker throws for Cox, and he is brought down, and that is a huge loss. John Wilson made the stop.
Big play right there by John Wilson, getting into the backfield, seeing that option play come out to the right side. Mount has had a lot of success on that play with a pitch to Cox, but Wilson coming up, making a huge play for Xavier. Here you see it again. Just beating the block off the edge, reading the play out, and a big loss of 7. And they take the timeout to stop the clock as well. 2:46 left. Going to need a couple more plays like that to get the ball back on offense and a chance to bring them back for a game-tying touchdown.
There you see the number 45 jersey of Kyle Rembert, who passed away yesterday. And very, very tough news to take for Mario Valentini, who was distraught not only yesterday but earlier today, and talking with us and said all the kids wanted to play, gave them the option of going forward with this game, and any one of them who wanted to sit out was welcome to do so, but not one said they did.
Well, certainly, you know, very, very much emotional day for all the players, coaches, friends, family today, and Mount looking to lock it up and hopefully come out and memorialize their fallen teammate Kyle Rembert with a win here on the home field.
Well, they certainly honored his memory with an outstanding performance thus far today and trying to close it out, up by 7. Here's Hawkins on the pitch, and he's tripped up. Terrific play by Nicholas Conti.
Excellent play by Conti, beating the block there from Cox. Able to trip up Hawkins coming off the edge.
Chris Stevens uses his second timeout to stop the clock with 2:37 left. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 17.
There you say he was able to beat the block to the inside, just get his arm out, trip up Hawkins before he could go upfield for a big gain. big play by Xavier, setting up 3rd and long now and giving them a good opportunity to try and get the ball back with 2 more stops.
Xavier has used a timeout on each of the last 2 plays and has 1 remaining. Mount St. Michael has yet to use a timeout, and it's doubtful that they'll do so because right now the moving clock is their best friend with 2:37 left.
Well, you have to figure there might be another timeout called if they hold Mount short of the 1st down on this 3rd down, and then the clock will stop again if they get that change of possession on 4th.
Well, Amaker's thrown only 1 pass today. It was good for a touchdown, but he's 1 for 3 on the day. Do you see them perhaps trying to go to the air here?
I don't think so here. You know, like you said, the clock is your friend. You want to make the Xavier team use up their timeouts, but they do go to the option.
And Cox is knocked down by Dominic Gatta. Terrific charge by the Xavier defense. With 2.5 minutes left, they'll get the ball back.
And again, trying to go the option to the right side. Penetration by the Xavier defense. And a nice play there by Gatta coming upfield. Again, beating the block out on the corner. They've had trouble this series getting the block between Hawkins and Cox out on the edge. And Xavier's been taking advantage of that.
This has been a little slow developing. Perhaps take a delay of game penalty and move back 5 yards. Nope. The snap goes to Randy Samuels. He gets off a high kick call for a fair catch and fielded at the 24-yard line. So with 1:48 left, Xavier with one last opportunity to try to either tie this game up or go for the win. We mentioned all the scoring drives today have been lengthy ones.
Now Xavier, you know, they're not a passing team, and they need to march down the field. A minute 48 on the clock and only 1 timeout. They're either going to need some big plays or start doing what they don't like to do, and that's pass the football.
They've had 5 touchdown runs of 50 yards or more, but they are going to go to the air right here. And this one is complete to Garrity across the 35, and he stopped at about the 37-yard line. Good for a 1st down.
And good job setting up the screen pass on the 1st down play. Garrity with the reception, and they're rushing back to the line of scrimmage. 2-minute offense here.
Once those chains are set, the clock will move. Looked like they were ready to spike the ball there. Not quite sure. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, they do have Garrity lined up right under center. Looks like they may try and spike it, stop the clock.
Chains are now set. We're ready to go, and they do in fact spike it, so it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Xavier 34. But how tough is it for a team that attempted only 12 passes all year long coming into today, now to start throwing the ball late in the game on its final drive, perhaps?
Well, it's very difficult. They don't practice it very often. It's not their bread and butter. You know, they attempted some downfield passes earlier today without any success. Their only completions so far have been on those screen passes, and you know, they're going to need to get some big chunks of yardage here as they come up on 2nd and 10.
Garrity 1 for 5 passing, and Matina 1 for 1, so 2 for 6 overall. And here's Garrity in trouble, now gets away, scrambling, and he's brought down. A nice pickup by John Garrity to make something out of nothing on that play.
Good job. They spread the defense out, and they're running back out up on the ball.
And at 3rd and 3, you have to call 2 plays right here. And I guess that makes it academic because they spiked the ball to stop the clock, but that's going to bring up 4th and 3.
Oh, that creates a real tough situation here for the Xavier team. I guess they wanted more time to think about it. They wanted to save their... Or do they have a timeout left?
They did not give up the down correction. They called timeout right before the snap.
Okay.
So they get credit for the timeout. So it's still 3rd down. So I guess they're in the huddle now. Will be going through the next 2 plays if in fact they do not get the 1st down. Even if they do, they still probably need to have a 2nd play ready to go.
Well, absolutely. You know, a lot of this offense, it's difficult to get out of bounds with this offense and get on the edge. You know, most of it's finding creases up the middle. And that's what, you know, they're going to have to get up on the ball fast. They're going to have to know what plays are coming up, be able to really move this 2-minute offense at a fast pace and get the ball 55 yards downfield for a game-tying touchdown.
1:13 left, 3rd and 3 from the Xavier 45. Garrity looking for an option. It's intercepted. Benito Cruz comes up with the interception, perhaps sealing this game.
Big play by Cruz, coming underneath the pass, getting the interception. Xavier. Here you see again Cruz coming up, cutting in front of the offensive player, getting the interception and sealing this ball game for the Mount St. Michael Mountaineer team.
Xavier has no timeouts left with 1:06 remaining. So all Mount St. Michael really needs to do right here is just take a knee.
This is every offensive player's favorite play.
Absolutely.
Kneeling down, knowing that you have the game locked up.
From tragedy to triumph, as we take another look at the interception this day, starting with the crushing news of the death of Kyle Rembert and his teammates honoring his memory with an inspirational win.
Absolutely. You saw Garrity not able to get his feet set. And a big interception and celebration from the Mountaineer side.
35 seconds and counting. And this is academic as Amaker takes another knee.
That'll do it. The clock will be able to run out now.
What an extraordinary game we had today, Jay. As we said, when we arrived here earlier today, we learned of the tragic death of Kyle Rembert. Weren't sure what kind of performance we could expect from the grief-stricken Mount St. Michael team, but what an inspirational performance it was. Their 3rd win of the year keeps their season alive.
Well, certainly. You know, we heard Mario Valentini talk about what a tremendous kid Kyle Rembert was, and his teammates were able to go out there today and really play the way that you know, Kyle would want them to play, with a lot of heart, with a lot of passion, a lot of emotion. And they did a great job of keeping their teammate in their hearts all day today.
And they honor his memory with a 21-14 victory over the Xavier Knights. And again, just a day filled with all kinds of emotions. It's tough for everyone involved. During the pregame ceremonies, there was just not a dry eye in the house. We talked about the Xavier Alumni Association making a donation to Kyle Rembert's family, trying to help out financially with things, and just everywhere you turn today, there was something heartwarming about this game, and what a way to finish. Benito Cruz sealing it with the interception, giving Mount St. Michael the 21-14 victory over Xavier, and allowing the Mountaineers to play one more week as they meet at midfield and huddle. Gary Aqua, the senior on this team, holding Kyle Rembert's jersey.
Number 6 has it.
Somebody, guys. Everybody? Yo, exactly what Kyle would have wanted, man. We played hard, we got the dub. Now we're gonna move on to the next round. Still going. Keep rolling.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. He's always in our heart.
Keep going, keep smiling, just like Kyle. Let's say a prayer.
Smile like Kyle.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Pray for us. Pray for us. It's for you, baby. It's for you. Let's go. Bring it up. Let's go. One time. Let's go. 4, 5, 4, 3. 4, 5, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go, man.
Welcome back to Mount St. Michael Academy in the Bronx, where the Mountaineers extend their season with a 21-14 victory over Xavier on an emotional day. And our Stephen Gelbs is standing by with the victorious Mountaineers.
Thanks a lot, guys. As you take a look right now at Kyle Rembert's number 45 jersey held up by Gary Aqua, I'm now joined by Coach Valentini and the victorious Mount St. Michael Mountaineers after a very emotional victory over Xavier today. And Coach, you've been coaching for 26 years. You've won 3 championships, but was this one of the greatest wins you've ever had?
This one was very special. I don't know if I can keep my emotions in check anymore. These guys played with tremendous pride and tremendous heart all day, and credit goes to them.
After such an emotional 24 hours, what's going through your mind right now?
I love these guys. I love these guys. They play their butts off. They work hard, and they gave us everything they could today.
Can you talk a little bit more about this team, what they were able to do, such a courageous victory after what has to be probably the hardest 24 hours of all of their lives?
Well, the one thing going into this season, we knew we had a lot of kids with great character, and their character showed today, and I think that's the telltale sign of why we won today.
Coach, again, our condolences, and thank you so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way out. We'll now send it back to Rich and Jay.
Well, Jay, it was a difficult day, and you could just see just a moment ago Mario Valentini having trouble holding back tears. It was amazing they were even able to get on the field at all.
Well, yeah, certainly visibly choked up, as you saw Coach Mario Valentini. A muted celebration for the Mount St. Michael's team, but they came out with great character, great heart, showing a lot of emotion, and even getting out on the field today to take this game 21-14 over Xavier.
A difficult day ends with an inspirational win by Mount St. Michael, who advance in the playoffs with a 21-14 victory over Xavier.